Your referee in charge of the action when the cage door closes, Mr. Josh Lee.
So Josh Lee will take over in the cage for Jones in January. Fight number 3 underway.
Southpaw orthodox, open stance. Dorian Jones looking to get that jab pumping out there, line up that straight right, left hand. January with good range. Nice right hand of his own. Anytime orthodox southpaw, anytime that matchup's occurring, they're both open to their backside, their dominant side. So expect to see a lot of crosses, straights, left and right power kicks coming from the fighters. Probably not as many kicks from Dorian Jones.
Yeah, and Dorian's, you know, pretty heavy because of the boxer stance on his lead leg. So I would imagine there'd be a lot of kicks thrown to it.
Yeah, big looping right hand from Isaiah January, closes the distance, and now he's in the over-under position. Wouldn't advise striking from there. Try to use that underhook. Dorian Jones, honestly, not using bad defense here. Kind of jacking up his underhook.
He's definitely making January work for it. There's been some jostling of position here.
Isaiah getting into a better position. He needs to win the head position. That's the only thing that I would say, because his head's kind of off to the side. He's allowing Dorian Jones to keep his posture.
Right.
If Isaiah pushed his head right into Dorian's grill, broke his posture, he would have trips because he would stand him upright. He'd be able to reap the legs.
He would definitely make this an easier time for himself. And I can hear his handsome coach calling for that head pressure.
He's a good-looking fella there.
You know that guy?
Yeah. I've seen him around.
Brett Mason leading the way in the corner there.
Head like a cinder block.
There, yeah. I think January heard either us or him, because he's getting a little bit better head position. It's harder as the taller fighter to maintain that.
And he's got double underhooks here, so he's kind of asking himself, like, what's going on? Why am I not able to score this takedown? He needs to retain some form of pressure into the fence, or else they're kind of just pirouetting around each other when he just twists them. You know, there's got to be a constant force and pressure. And right now, there's too much space between Dorian Jones and the fence.
Right, and Dorian's doing a good job with those overhooks, because you almost want your hands to be really high or over the hips. You know, there's some sweet spots there that make that tight waist work better for you. And right now, he's just not in that sweet spot.
Well, a fairly uneventful first round. Isaiah January landed a big right hand early, a nice knee in the clinch. But outside of that, pretty much stuck in a stalemate up against the cage here.
It's going to be a hard one to call, for sure.
Yeah, I think you got to give it to Isaiah January, just because you have to defend yourself intelligently. Dorian Jones was pinned up against the fence the whole, at least half of that second round. Good exchanges at the beginning. I think they were relatively even on the feet, but I would say Isaiah banged January for the first round just because he was able to control more.
I would definitely agree with that assessment. You know, it might not be the fans' favorite kind of a fight, but there is technique involved to pinning someone against the cage and them not being able to move. That's definitely not where Dorian Jones wants to be. So, you know, that is a credit to January to keep him there.
They were still in a spot where they were kind of trying to figure out the range and the timing there in the first round, when Isaiah just closed the distance and got double underhooks and kind of kept that the rest of the way. I wondered what's going to happen, how things are going to reset here as the second round begins. Have they taken any information from each other? Are we going to strike a little more?
I also wonder who's more tired from that clinching.
Neither guy looks like they're worse for the wear, I would say. Nice looping left hook from January.
Jones fires a left back himself.
January's just so long. Look how he's pawing at the lead hand of Dorian Jones. Sharp boxing combinations there from Dorian.
He definitely January definitely has the reach advantage. He would blade his shoulders a little bit more. I think he could take more advantage of that. Dorian doing a good job of cutting him off.
Yeah, Dorian
stalking.
standing in a boxing stance. Ooh, nice right hand. Kind of skips it. Dorian did have some defense in position there. This is good work from
nice
Dorian Jones.
Yeah, Jones having his best moments of the fight here.
He's just doing a good job of offense there in the clinch.
Again, it really just boils down to the head position of Isaiah January. That's why he's struggling so much with completing these takedowns. He's not out of position. He's got double underhooks once again, or they're an over-under. But still, you just see how his head is kind of off to the side. It just makes things a little too comfortable, and Dorian Jones is able to stay upright. And here he's even delivering
nice
shots on the inside. Ooh, cheeky right hand right behind the head. The ear there snuck in on Dorian Jones.
Yeah, Dorian doing such a good job of slipping off of that right hand. That's one of those moments where you kind of
big right hand from Dorian Jones.
I was just about to say, it feels like each guy has the power to change this fight. Yeah. Nobody's been able to connect big time yet, though.
That was a good connection.
That was.
Isaiah January needs a little more of that. Just change it up. Don't get into a boxing match with this guy who's clearly a boxer. Nice short left hook, scores.
I think he felt that one.
Yeah, he did.
Here we are back in the clinch. It's hard to watch them just jostle for that position. I would love to see.
And I'm telling, I could have a 5-minute conversation with
You just want him to make that little change. He tried to throw him over, and it just didn't work out. Kudos to
I thought for a second maybe he kind of pulled guard because I was looking this way. I didn't see how they actually got to this position. Wouldn't be a bad move by Isaiah January, especially if he had a good guard or some things to throw up from this position. Not good for the optics here as the round is 20 seconds away from expiring. It was relatively close. Both guys having good exchanges. You almost have to go with the guy that's on top for winning the round.
Yeah, I think the bigger moment of the round belonging to Dorian Jones as well.
And there's the clack.
A little too late.
Looking like he wanted to set something up, but it was a little late.
Something you got to know about dudes that can punch, they can punch standing, and oftentimes they can still punch on the ground too. I don't think Dorian Jones is, the most studied grappler. I'm not gonna. We've seen him out there before have trouble grappling, but even that being said, he gets on top, he gets in a good position, he can deliver a strike.
Jones, he's always looked sharp, but it feels like he's got a little something extra in the boxing tonight. He's firing some really clean shots.
Yeah, I loved that double uppercut from the clinch that we just got shown in the replay. That's where he's really shining. He's able to land those short shots, and a lot of times, being the shorter fighter, you have kind of an advantage there, in the inside, landing those short shots to the head and the body. But he's also got that range shot too, and that too had to hurt.
Ready for the third and final round of what feels like a 1-to-1 fight. I've got Jones winning the second and January taking the first, so it feels like this third round could be what matters. Find out.
Agreed. Because Dorian's kind of so bladed, that inside low kick, which is typically there for the southpaw orthodox fighters, kind of taken away. I think January would do better with pushing his right hand out there and maybe trying to kick the back of the lead leg rather than kicking the front of it. Again, you see he kind of kicks into that knee.
It doesn't sound like it's fun. Ooh.
Oh, those are clean shots.
Wow. What a flurry.
Dorian Jones is a puncher, and he knows when he's found his mark, he knows how to put one right behind the other. Nice knee up the middle.
Nice knee up the middle. It seemed to skim a little bit.
Didn't find its mark, but it was a good idea.
After a boring first round, this has turned into a hell of a fight.
Yep.
You can kind of see January doesn't know what to do with his movement sometimes. He needs to circle towards us.
Yeah.
But Dorian's doing a great job of cutting him off in that direction. He knows that's where his foot's going to be beaten as the southpaw.
Isaiah January does have some tools, though. His length, He's got some good speed to him, so he's kind of, even though he's not, look, he finds that left hand straight right. That was a nice sequence, but this is a tough spot to be against a guy who can punch and put combinations together.
He's got to get off this cage here.
He's got to circle off and get back to the middle.
Beautiful knee, though.
And that's fine. Let's keep the clinch and
here's
put
the
one knee
momentum
behind the other.
You can tell that knee hurt him.
Nice.
January needs to keep coming forward. He just landed another right hand. And
seems like January's kind of tired or something. He almost has a comfort in leaning up against the fence.
You're right. He lands a big shot and then just falls back into it there.
There we go. He almost circled around there. Dorian Jones just doing a good job of winning the optics right now. Even though it's pretty close, he's keeping Isaiah January pressed against the fence. Good little push off there from January. He needs to circle his feet, move out, try to take the center. Oh, that was a big punch. But still Dorian Jones, kind of the fresher guy, even though he took a big shot. Was able to put together a little volume there. Those are scoring.
Nice
went to the body as well. I would tell Dorian.
Yeah, that's one of those things, you know, like you said, it's all about optics. So they're both landing punches, but it's the fact that Dorian is the one applying the pressure and landing the punches is going to look better for him.
If Isaiah January would just change levels, put a little grapple in there, make it, you know, send that knee up the middle again, but start by getting and establishing the clinch. That way you can deliver a hard shot and it doesn't just skate by his face. Good fight, though.
Great fight. Yeah, I mean, obviously that first round, not a whole lot to offer up, but from there, rounds 2 and 3 had some real fireworks. Dorian Jones, it felt like, because he had him pushed up against the cage, just applying pressure for a big portion of that third round. He probably did enough to win this one. But Isaiah January definitely had some moments.
Yeah, they both had great moments. I got to say that I felt like Dorian's shots landed a lot harder. Definitely some things that Isaiah can take away from this fight.
No, absolutely. Competitive fight. Both guys having to make adjustments in it, and overall, I'm pretty satisfied as a spectator.
Oh yeah. No, that's one of those where you watch the first round and you're like, maybe this isn't going to be much of a fight, and then it turns into a barn burner down the stretch. I mean, elite work. Tip your cap to both of these guys, Isaiah January and Dorian Jones, leaving it all out there. And now Dynamite will collect the judges' scorecard, and he'll have your result coming up right now.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds of fast and furious mixed martial arts section, we are going to the judges' scorecard. All 3 judges have seen this bout the same way, therefore declaring your winner by unanimous decision. By the blue corner, Dorian
So Dorian Jones does come away with the W in a close fight. And I'll tell you what, he looked so sharp with the boxing tonight. I mean, it felt like he was on another level. We've seen him out there. He's looked very good, you know, in the AKA cage before, but it felt like he really was up another level.
Just composed, smooth, you know, never looked like he was stressing or anything was bothering him. Great fight, great competitor.